Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we're back with another episode of the Dragon Prince, episode 6. Last time on the Dragon Prince, but I guess Catalyst is going to war. They're going to war. Um, Viren is now King Viren. Much to my surprise, to be honest. I can't fathom how the people are could possibly be in his favor. After everything that has already happened, right? There is, of course, the question of whether or not the information was released to the public, in that he was trying to take power from the princes. That much was obvious. He went to meet with the other leaders in the other countries, and that's why he was imprisoned, unless the public wasn't advised, of what he was trying to do, which was basically a coup d'état, right? But I mean, some of you have mentioned that perhaps, I mean, that, in the flashbacks we saw where he did help them to, get I think it was some golem, some fire golem or something of some sort, the heart from it that he needed to use dark magic so that they could actually have crops for the winter that was coming and help the other nation. So he did help, and maybe the people remember that, and that maybe he helped them to get past that, you know tough times, and maybe that's why they're thinking he's a man of the people. That could be it. But I mean, even with the good that he may have done, with that, I mean, their king just died, and he basically tried to take power for himself. I would think that would trump whatever he did prior to that. Right? So that definitely caught me by surprise. Of course, we did have some soldiers who are, with Ezra, and they're not going to, just go to war for the sake of war. Of course, Vern has said he's going to, mark them with a badge, or they'll be forced to wear a badge that suggests that they're deserters of some kind, which they're not. And some of you pointed out that this one, the first soldier to actually step forward was the same soldier that Rayla saved back in season 1. So that's it's a real, neat, full circle moment. That she spared him, and now he realizes that, okay, not all elves are bad, and on the elven side there are some who now know that not all humans are bad. So, um, uh, of course there was we finally got the moment with Rayla and Callum having their kiss at the very end of the episode, and I'm with you. I'm with a lot of you in that. I'm glad that this didn't span several seasons, right? I don't think it was very evident in season 1, but season 2 it was definitely there, and since the season has started, they've been hinting at it like crazy. So I'm actually pretty happy that they've actually decided to get that out of the way from, early on, from early on, right? So that we don't keep going back and forth. That was one of my chief, not so much a complaint, but with the last Airbender, right? Between Aang and Katara, which their romance fueled a bit more of the story than it actually needed to, right? Um, and to be honest, in my opinion, I thought that she would have been a better match with Zuko. Yeah, I know it's not a popular opinion, but hey. But anyhow, I'm glad that they've gotten the real Callum situation out of the way. I'm sure we will revisit it with Claudia, who I am now finished with. I liked her before, but I don't know. Her brother, she disregarded what Soren said completely, and she now seems to be blindly following her dad, right? And after Ezra spared her and Soren, I expected more, right? He didn't, he refused to send her to prison, and she ended up supporting her dad, who wanted to lock Ezra up, right? A kid. So I don't particularly. I'm off the Claudia train. We'll see. I don't think there's anything she can do going forward that will change my opinion. I'm sure there will be some redemption for her, because I think inherently she wants to do the right thing, but there comes a time when, she will. There will be a point in the storyline where she will need to take a life based on her father's wishes, and that would be the defining moment for her. So we'll see when we get there. All right, as for Soren, I mean, kudos to Soren. He's quickly becoming, one of my favorite characters. He had a hilarious prison break with Ezran, but he got Ezran out of there safely, and I'm still sticking with his dad. I was wondering why he didn't go with Ezran, but you need someone on the inside who's on your side. So it's good that he's remaining. Hopefully they don't slowly turn him back towards his dad. I don't think they will. If anything, he'll try to, open Claudia's eyes. So, so there's that. All right, guys. So episode 6, the Dragon Prince. Let's check it out. King Viren. This is why I didn't particularly understand Ezran's decision, because they're going to war anyway. I think he would have spared a lot more lives, because he wouldn't send people careless to their death if he was the one giving the order. To fight the other nations, not to go to war with the elves. And collect a reward. Is she leaving? I hope not.
So,
Kind of starting to like her.
Again, thanks for not killing me, for conning you and then betraying you, stealing a dragon and leaving you stranded in the desert. No tip?
No.
I suppose that's fair. A word of advice? The air can get pretty thin up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? You don't want me to smoosh that thing?
Do not smoosh the purple creature. Think of it as my animal familiar.
So you're saying you've adopted a little bug pal?
Yeah.
Yes, Soren, he is my little bug pal.
Soren is a treasure.
I'll just ride back here with Claudia for a while.
While we travel, there is something I have been meaning to ask you. My understanding is that somehow you killed Avzandum.
Did he die in that flashback?
We encountered the great dragon many years ago. We had dared enter Zadia because we desperately needed something.
I don't recall.
Thunder killed our queen, the love of King
Is
Harold's
that really
life.
what happened, though?
Sarai.
I believed it initially, but now
Many years passed
it's been told
before
by
I saw a
Vern that I have
chance
no trust in his
to
words.
avenge her. My king, an unusual opportunity has presented itself. We can avenge her, Harrow. We can slay the king of the dragons.
Are you crazy? Thunder is bigger and stronger than any beast the world has ever seen.
And I don't think that's
Entire
what their mom
armies
would have
have fallen
wanted,
and
because she
crumbled
did
like
not
toys
want
before
them
him.
to even go
How can
and
we hope
slay
to
the
kill
golem
such a
to
godly
begin with.
creature?
I have discovered a powerful spell. We can create the ultimate weapon of vengeance.
It's empty.
No. It contains her dying breath.
Viren.
You see, I knew about a very ancient, powerful spell. However, it requires something impossibly rare.
And you
The
knew all of
horn
this
of a
in that
unicorn.
moment. You thought
I
of
searched
all of
for
that in that
years and I
moment.
failed. But
Or did you plan
a few days ago,
for it to happen?
my daughter Claudia succeeded where I could not. She captured a unicorn and brought me its horn.
Viren, what have you done?
Tell me you don't want justice. Tell me she wasn't your world. The dying breath, the unicorn's pure horn. There's one
This
last
is too well
component
thought
I
out. There's
need.
no way that he
The
just thought of that.
undying
in the
hatred
moment.
of
Our kingdom is prospering. There is
Yeah,
peace.
there's no need to
My boys,
start another war.
they're
For
growing
what?
up. Perhaps it's wiser to stay focused on these blessings.
She didn't get to see the princes grow up. She should
Keeps
have.
pushing and pushing and pushing.
Yes, it's true.
And what about them? They were robbed of their mother's love.
You need to stop. had to have been Viren. It had to have been Viren. Never give your blood to a mage. I would want to know what her final breath was, her final words, which I don't think would have been avenged.
I will leave.
Alright, he's reached the border.
I can't believe it. This is the moment I've dreamed of my
And
whole
how's he gonna
life. We're
get
going
past
into
the
Zadia.
dragon as well?
Fifi, you did it. You got us here. Fifi?
He's tired.
What's wrong?
It's time to rest. It's close.
Fifi, you're exhausted and sick. You got us to Zadia. We can find them on our... I know Lou Jane told you to bring me all the way, but you have to promise me you'll be okay. She says she has to see this through.
I agree. Good, Fifi. You could just rest a bit and walk. That was just the two of them. That must be some powerful
It
spell.
took us
on
days
the
to reach our
lance
destination.
Spear.
The lair of the Dragon King and Queen.
Here he comes.
Here he comes.
Leave. Today of all days, I will spare you. But you must turn around and leave Zadia.
It's consumed with rage at the time. Is that Queen Sarai's voice screaming out?
What is this?
It's here.
We've done it.
Is it a statue?
Nope.
No, it's not a statue.
Hey, it's okay, little guy.
What poor animal did she kill to get that from?
Ezrin!
He's here with not great news.
Zim, I missed you so much.
King Viren is marching here with
Ezrin?
his army.
Callum, Rayla. Callum, I'm safe now. Fifi? Oh no. She flew the whole way here. She's so tired, but she wouldn't let me stop her. You did so good, Fifi.
You have a lot to tell
And
him.
now we made it.
You guys need to hurry. think she'd be alright. I'm guessing she's a phoenix. She will come back at a later
She
date.
is going to be okay.
Yeah.
She's a moon phoenix. When the time is right, she'll be reborn.
Still gotta be pretty hot though.
Looking at him, seeing him, it makes me sad and angry and confused.
Okay, one.
Of course it
I mean, I
does.
don't believe for a moment that
It's
he took their
painful.
mom, but even if he
How could you
did,
feel any different?
they came into
See
his
that spear?
territory to steal something.
That was her spear, my mom's. And my stepdad put it into his heart. How am I supposed to feel about that? I feel so sorry that this all happened.
Me too, Callum.
I'm sorry, but isn't
But look at
Ezra
them,
forgetting to tell them
playing
something
together.
very
That's
important?
the miracle. That's hope.
There's an army coming.
They're the ones that are going to break the cycle.
While they were having episode 6 of the Dragon Prince, another fantastic episode. This episode was very much, it was for the most part a flashback, the story of how the Dragon King came to die. Very tragic. It shows the cycle of violence. Initially when when we saw them at the border in around, the very first, or was it the end of season 1 or the beginning of season 2? I believe it was in season 2 where they went to get the heart of the golem so that they could have crops for the winter to come. I mean, I believe the story. I believe what we were shown, because I believe we did see the Dragon King attack. We saw Viren attack him. Queen Sarai and Viren were working together, or trying to escape the Dragon King. But we didn't see her final moments per se. We didn't see her final moments. And I don't know. I don't believe the Dragon King is the one who killed her. I believe Viren actually... look, the way he marched into King Harold's throne room, and he was talking about how in that moment, he captured something, her final breath, because he knew of a spell. There's no way you came up with that on that very there's no way he came up with that on the spot. No way. Right? So he planned it. He knew, he wanted the Dragon King dead, and he knew King Harold would resist initially. But he needed something to push him to the edge to get him to say yes. So I'll bring you the Queen's final breath and say to you that, the Dragon King robbed her boys of their mom, and it was all a setup. I don't believe for a moment that the Dragon King killed Queen Sarai. I think he did it because he knew Queen Sarai was the king's most trusted advisor, even more so than Viren. He would more likely listen to his wife than he would Viren. So he needed her out of the way, right? That's the only reason, because initially he was not there. He wasn't a part of the battle with the Dragon King. After they got to the border, he turned around and said that he would go and help Queen Sarai. I believe it was at that moment that he decided, all right, she needs to perish here, and I will take her final breath so that I can have it as leverage to use to spur King Harold into authorizing an attack later on the Dragon King. So I think he planned it he planned it. It was by no accident. So somehow either the Dragon King attacked them and she was near death, and then he delivered the final blow. I believe that is what happened. Right? I believe that's what happened. And here he is now. He's in complete control. Now, of course, I still don't think King Harold is actually dead. I think he trapped his soul in his bird. But I, I struggle to understand what Viren's motives are. We still don't have a clear understanding of what his I know what he hopes to accomplish, in that he wants to go to war. He wants to completely eliminate the elves and make humans, um, the leaders. But why is he doing it? I mean, I can only speculate that it has something to do with the death of his wife, Soren and Claudia's mom. So it's for revenge. That can be my only guess. That it's revenge, right? But other than that, I can't think of what else could be driving his actions. I can't. It's not love of his people. I don't believe that for a moment. There are times when I do believe that he genuinely wants, he's doing it for humans. But then that gets, yeah, I don't know. Then the ugly side of him peers through, and I'm like, I don't think he's doing it for any pure notion like such as that, right? He has some selfish desire that he's trying to fulfill. So the only thing I can think of is Soren and Claudia's mom somehow died at the hands of elves, and he's been bent on revenge since. But yeah, I think he killed Queen Sarai, and he got King Harold to authorize killing the Dragon King, and the cycle of revenge just keeps going and going and going and going. I mean, I do have a few questions. Going back to some of the other things that happened in the episode. In terms of how Ezran found Claudia, Callum and Rayla, that seemed a bit too easy considering how difficult it was for them to actually get there. Right? First, they would actually need to get into Zadia, which, or maybe perhaps Rayla's dance was only necessary to get inside, the town or the city. Yeah, I'm guessing. Maybe I'm getting the geography all wrong. So maybe the dance was only needed to be able to permit it to enter the city, and not necessarily the rest. But even so, it's still odd that he managed to find them. They had to fly over a huge desert, which apparently they couldn't without taking some risk, right? I guess, I mean, he had Fifi, so he could fly over, but it would mean that Fifi would have to fly non-stop, and maybe she did, which is why she passed at the end. But that still leaves his finding their location at, with pinpoint accuracy. Right? I imagine Zadia is a very large place. He knew where they were going, and I mean, he was at the foot of the Dragon Queen's lair. I mean, they're just right outside it. So I guess if he headed there, it increased the odds of him actually spotting them from in the air. So there's a possibility of that happening. It just seemed a bit too easy considering how difficult it was for them to get, to actually get there. But Fifi, unfortunately, the crossing took all her strength. But Fifi, I don't know why it didn't occur to me initially. Fifi, Phoenix. So she will rise from the ashes and she will come back at a later time. So love that little moment. But yeah, we got a backstory, albeit I don't believe a complete one. For the Dragon King and how he ended up dying. And it's in the moment now where Azzy and Ezran are now the best of friends, even though one robbed the other, or their parents robbed the other of someone that they loved. Very tragic. Very tragic, but I mean, it's as Rayla said, those two are the key to actually breaking that cycle. So we can only hope that is what happened. Avaros mentioned. Before I even move on to Avaros, when King Harold threw the spear, just to kind of emphasize the argument that I was making earlier, when King Harold threw the spear and it landed in the Dragon King's heart. I don't know, maybe I misheard, but I could have sworn I heard Queen Sarai's voice scream no, right? So that's just something else that I think kind of supported the argument that for one thing, she was vehemently against killing the ogre in the first place, going to the border and killing the ogre. And she valued all life. She was not a fan of dark magic, and King Harold should have known better, but again, consumed by revenge. And I think he should. I think Vern captured her last, not just her final breath, but her last words as well. And King Harold should have, should have inquired as to what that actually was before deciding to kill the dragon. But he admitted his mistakes in his letter to the boys and encouraged them not to be consumed by revenge. So in his final days, in his final moments, he knew he was wrong. Yeah. Very tragic. But yeah, Averos said he had a history with the Dragon King, and he somehow imprisoned him. I called the imprisonment thing from season 2, because although in his conversation with Viren he appeared to be in a room and he's going back and forth, it obviously seemed as though they wanted to keep an eye on him, which is why King Harold had the mirror in his place, in his bedroom to begin with, because this elf is apparently so dangerous that neither humans nor the elves felt he should be free. Right, so while they're bickering and warring amongst themselves now, when Averos gets released, it's going to be total chaos. It's going to be complete chaos. So I mean, I figured he was imprisoned, and Viren is his key to being released. I believe the war is what he hopes to accomplish that with. So in all the chaos, Viren will free him, thinking that he's, and perhaps not, because for all Viren's flaws, and he's an evil person, he's not as easily manipulated as we might think he is. We've seen it before in his interaction with Averos, where the first time when he asked him to actually do the ritual so that they could communicate, Viren actually stopped and said, I don't know who you are, and he questioned it for a moment, although he eventually gave into his curiosity. But I do think he will put up resistance at the end when he meets Averos. He may even turn on him and refuse to free him. But at that point, I believe Averos will have had so much influence on him that, I mean, his eye the slug on him, I think he's going to just consume him or take control of him at that point, and then everyone's screwed. Right? So I don't think Viren is silly enough to trust him. I don't think he does. But I think at the end when he will have to make the choice will be removed from him. So it'll be interesting. But they're at the border. I do wish Ezran would tell them that the army is on the way so that they could hurry as much as they're having a moment. They seem to have told them everything except that very important tidbit is that Viren is coming. He's going to go to war. We need to hurry. But they're there. They're all reunited for the first time since last season. So this is the first time they're all back together since the end of season 2. And I guess the next episode we may meet the Dragon Queen. I don't think even with Azzy, I don't think she's going to be very forgiving. I don't think she's going to be very kind. It's going to be a tough sell. It's going to be a tough sell after everything that they have done. And there are no saints on either side. The elves have made their own erring judgments as well. But the humans have been perpetuating this cycle. They just keep going and going and going. But can't wait for the next episode. I think we'll definitely get to meet the Dragon Queen. She's the only one that we have not seen. We've seen the Dragon King in past flashbacks before, and we've met Azzy. We've been with Azzy since his egg hash, but we've not met the Dragon Queen. And I get the impression that her fury will be her wrath will be much more furious than even the Dragon King's. Alright guys, that's enough. That's it for episode 6. Be sure to post down below, let me know what your thoughts are. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.